Hello, everybody. It's Gary Stuckey with Real Music. On today's show, I've got the very talented singer, songwriter, guitarist, Will Wesley. He is here talking about a brand new single, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. You know, that old Brenda Lee classic. And he does a great version of this song, gets you excited for Christmas. I'm just saying, you need to check it out. Check out the new video. Lots of fun. Yeah, we had a great time chatting about his life, the song especially, and also what he's got coming up musically. And a lot of great moments in this conversation. I think you'll appreciate it. But here we go. Here's Will Wesley. Rocking around the Christmas tree now. Every year, you turn on the radio, you listen to Christmas music, and you're like, that's one of the songs that stands out. But why did you decide, you think, I'm going to do this song, do a cover of this particular song? Why was that?
Man, I had several reasons for that. When I was a kid, it was a staple in my household to hear that song. My mother, my father, my brother. Every year we would listen to Brenda Lee's Timeless Classic, man, and it brought me to a place of innocence that I feel I wanted to go back to. So
Yeah.
when I started going into the studio to cut the song, I was really trying to capture the same Christmas magic with my own twist on it, and that was my real decision for why I wanted to do it so badly.
Right. And it looked like you had a lot of fun. I just saw the video. That was
Yeah.
cool. So how fun was that to make and just recording the song? I mean, it's a fun song, I'm sure, to record and sing and play on. So how fun was making the video and singing the song?
Honestly, man, I think that making of this music video was the smoothest and funnest experience I've had making music videos, just because we filmed it at a very, very old home from 1898 in Zachary, Louisiana. It's a place called the Magnolia Fields.
Cool.
And we got to come in there, and they loved the song so much that they said, "Hey, come in here and record here." And the band just really just cut up and had fun, man. It was the most natural kind of experience I've ever had making a music video. Just loads of fun. Even when the bass player stole Santa's cookies, I thought that was kind of
That was good.
unacceptable. But here we go.
Yeah, I like that. And so I get, that's what it's all about, and that's what people appreciate about Christmas music. Is it brings back the memories, it brings back the fun. It's fun to listen to. In Christmas music, it's different than regular music. Like you said, it brings back all these emotions, all these memories, and things like that. So, what's been the reaction of your fans and the people around you? And what's it like to hear that they love this song? It is a great version of this song. So, but tell me what their reaction has been, and what do you think about that?
Coming from a lot of outlaw country rock and roll, I'll admit I was a little nervous to tackle such a cheerful subject.
Yeah,
But I've been really, really overwhelmed by the fans' support on it, man. They really, really have been enjoying it and saying it's a different side of me that they've never seen before, and we've been getting overwhelming support. We've been getting overwhelming airplay, and that's been something very rewarding, man. To see the fans and to kind of put people in the Christmas spirit, that's I think the world needs that right now.
I totally agree. Yeah, but great cover. Brenda Lee's song, of course, make it number one. I mean, great
Yeah.
timing on that. It get people to listen to your song at the same time because that's such an awesome song. But great job with that. Well, you were talking about the Christmas memories. Are there some Christmas memories from your childhood that maybe when you're singing this song, does it stand out in your mind? You go, boom, I remember Christmases long ago and the fun that I had. Is there any memory that stands out in your mind when you sing that?
Man, going back to it, remembering back when I was a kid, in the 90s. Wow. But going back and remembering the memories of basically when we were kids, this is kind of an odd story. But my dad had bought us some fireworks for New Year's.
Right.
And me and my brother had decided that we were going to get into these fireworks early without dad knowing it. Now, the mind of a child, you would realize that, well, I think they're going to make noise and they're going to know. But we got into them anyway, man. And we had a bonfire built in the backyard, and my brother accidentally dropped the whole bag of
Oh
fireworks
boy.
into this fire, and they just start shooting all over the dang neighborhood. And
Awesome.
you might ask, like, why would that be um, a Christmas memory that you hold on to? Well, it was just such an innocent time, man, and being
Yeah,
kids and going back to a time where, as children, we thought that was the worst thing that could have ever happened, and now as an adult, you're like, that was pretty innocent and pretty fun, and it just, to me, that memory is an embodiment of Christmas over the years being just such an embracing, warm holiday time.
sure. And you're keeping it going with this song, and getting people thinking about those memories. But you were talking about when you were growing up, and I know I was reading some of your bio, and you wore a beard or something
I
to
did.
a bar to get in. Now tell me about that. Now I'm interested in this.
Well, Gary, what's funny is I used to wear a beard so they'd let me in a bar, and now I shave it to look younger.
I understand. I totally
Yeah.
understand.
What was
Uh,
once such a youthful looking beard is turning gray, my friend. But
Doggone it.
as a kid, I started out in a lot of blues music, and a lot of blues bars they could be rough areas. And coming up, I started out as a guitar player, so I was back in a lot of different bands. But they kept telling me, Will, we have a small problem. You're a great guitarist, but you're too young to be in this bar.
Right.
And I was like, well, I don't drink or anything, and but they still, by law, you couldn't get in there. So
Right.
we come up with this brilliant idea that I was probably the only 16, 17-year old who can grow a full beard. So I grew a beard to make myself look older. And in these bars, I would go, and I got to tell you, it was on job education for me. It kind of molded me into understanding the music business and the ups and the downs of it.
Right. Well, oh, there you go. Yeah, that's cool. You grew a beard. Yeah,
I
that's
grew a
awesome.
beard. It ought to be a single. I ought to write something about
That
that.
sounds like I think you should, like an autobiographical song.
Yeah.
Uh, but talking about that though, who were your influences growing up? Now I know you had all kinds, especially you said your background's bluesy. You've been around country, I guess, from Louisiana area and places like that. You have all kinds of music going on. So what really got you into playing guitar, and what were some of the influences?
My dad was a guitar player, man. And basically, as a kid, every style of music was kind of in my household. Everything from Dave Brubeck Take Five in the jazz world to B.B. King in the blues world. And Hank Williams was the main artist played in our house, and one of my biggest influences is Hank Williams, not just for the songs that he's written, but his life story has always been inspirational to me. Even the tragedy of his death to me, I found to be very outlaw country. and
Really
and
is.
to review his life and to see how he lived in a time where really to me, Hank Williams was, in my opinion, one of the founders of genuine outlaw country before it was a brand.
Yeah.
And I always found great influence in that. The fact that he went his own way, wrote his own songs, and the honesty of his songs. If he wasn't getting along with his wife, well, that found its way in his music. And that was my first influence in understanding that in songwriting, you just tell your story, and the people either relate to it or they don't. So I would
Right.
say my first main influence was Hank Williams, but I also loved Merle Haggard, Johnny Cash, Chet Atkins. Love Chet Atkins.
Yeah.
Huge Chet Atkins fan, man. But I do like a lot of the newer country. I like Jason Aldean and Garth Brooks,
Sure.
and I like Brad Paisley and all these wonderful country artists. They all kind of help mold and shape me into who I am today. So I still listen to these artists, and I still learn from them even today.
Awesome. Uh, and playing, different styles of music. I know playing blues is a different. There's blues and country and things like that. How'd you make a transition from that more blues into like a more country kind of a mode? How do you make that transition?
That's actually a great question. Coming up playing a lot of blues, naturally it's not the same as country, but in a sense, listening to both styles and my father being a fan of both styles, it really came as second nature to me, the jump, because when I started out playing blues, I was really just primarily a guitar player. But when I started singing and I started fronting a group, it dawned on me that my true love was in country music and in the storytelling of it. And that's where I really just made the jump naturally. I never even sat down and thought about it. It's just I wrote my songs, I put them out there, and they fell in the world of country music.
It and that's a cool thing because you don't put yourself in a box. You are who you are, and sometimes it has these kind of sounds, but I guess it's cool that you don't have to go, hey, this is going to be country, this is going to be blues. Maybe it's just going to be one of your songs and it just comes out that way. But that's a good way to look at it because you don't want to limit yourself to anything, right?
No, exactly. You know, as a songwriter and as somebody who wants to express himself in music, to me, I've never been a fan of sticking to one thing in the sense of naturally country music's where I'll always be, but being growing as an artist and always trying to, even in country music, in today's country, you can hear real influences of R&B, blues, you can hear rock. Even in modern country, of course, you hear influences of rap these days.
Sure.
So teach their own. But in my opinion, just all these music is really just a mix of different styles because it's all to me in a sense the same thing. It's just how you tell the story and what style and flavor you want to tell it in. So I think country music is really the foundation of that from the start.
And you were talking about writing songs. I know uh, songs really paint a picture. What picture do you see when you're writing a song, and how real are those memories, like you were talking about? How big of an influence are memories in your life in songwriting?
I've always looked at them as directly linked. I'm a believer that art imitates life, I guess, and to me, the honesty, I'm a believer that in a song, if you honestly tell your story, someone's honestly going to relate to it.
Right.
And that's really what has always driven me about country is the stories that they tell. And what I feel is that the more honest you are in your songs about your life, the more relatable they're going to come across. So I'm a believer in that, and I feel that those are some of the components that really drive me as a songwriter.
Right. Um, and like you said, with all those memories and all those, and especially the fans that are listening to your music, I'm sure people have had some stories about how a song that you have written or sang has helped them. Has that come to mind? Can you think of a story where somebody said that song really got to me? What's an example of that?
I can give you actually the strongest example I can give you of that is something that currently is not released, and I'll tell you what that is. Is on the more tragic side of the street. I lost my brother a couple of years back to a heroin overdose, and that that greatly impacted me. Someone I've never done drugs, but to see someone fall down that way, and his loss affected me so greatly that it found its way into my music. And we've been performing a song in our set that's coming off the upcoming record called 12 O'Clock in Texas. And it's a song about the loss of my brother and how I'm trying to continue my career and continue moving forward. But the grief of this never leaves me, no matter where I go. And when we went to Europe to perform this song, we had 7 sold out shows, and everyone in the audience would do a standing ovation when that song was completed. And when we would go into the crowd after and I would meet with the people, I cannot tell you the amount of people who relate to this song and relate to the loss. And it reminds me that though I was grief stricken and that's how the song was written, it translates, my grief translates to healing of other people because of the relatability. And by
Right.
seeing this, it really changed my vision of what I want to do as an artist. I want my music to have a positive impact, and seeing 12 O'Clock in Texas do that with people was really the first and the strongest example of how music really can help and cure people, even if it comes from a sorrowful place. And
Sure.
that's my story on that.
That's a great story and so true. I think if everybody, every writer, or singer really searched deep down, they would find that the most important thing is how the song relates to somebody.
That's right.
And probably the best feeling you get is knowing that people relate and they do heal and they do go on and you do go on. There's nothing you can do to bring your brother back, but there is something you could do in his memory to help people. And that's such, to me, that's the biggest thing you can do in honor of somebody, is to make somebody else live and continue, and I think that's a big deal. What you're doing musically, I mean, there's different ways people can go in their sadness,
Yeah.
and you take a positive direction to help people and do a great job doing it, right? So that's a good thing.
Gary, what you said is about as true as it gets. Is that I found that through helping other people through the song, that it in turn, ironically, helps me. It helps me deal with the loss. To to feel like I'm not alone in that. That so many people out there are dealing with losing a son or a daughter or a brother, a friend, to the disease known as addiction. And to express that, it really, I don't want to get too spiritual on the matter. I respect everyone's beliefs, but for me personally, feeling like I'm doing that work in the army of God helps me to feel like I'm doing something with my music that helps the world, rather than just doing it for your own ego or doing it for your own gratification. It's the gratification comes from sharing your story with others and by helping them along the way. And that, to me, is what a songwriter is.
Sure, sure. And you're talking about, in the state of the world today and all that's going on, and I think of those people that are losing people. There've been so many, it seems like, for me, probably for you too, not just your brother, but so many probably around you
Oh
that are
yeah,
no longer with us, right? And you're like, man, and part of you just dies with them, but the other part is like, man, you got to keep going.
you
I
gotta
know
keep
that's such
going.
a big deal, and I know that a lot of you see the hatred, the wars going on, the fighting, and all that stuff. Such a cool thing. I'm glad to talk to you about this, because I mean, I'm thinking about two most important things that I see: people dying,
Yeah,
whatever it may be. We're experiencing loss, like to the extreme, and then of course, uh, the hatred. So a song, great time, and rocking around the Christmas tree. Though, coming back to that, I mean, Christmas, especially the real meaning of Christmas,
yeah,
is a good thing, and but for people to come together and not hate,
that's right.
and and to love, and to understand that life is so short. Songs like this really, it takes you back to your childhood,
Yeah,
but it brings you to today and go, you know what? Just like that video, and everybody's having fun. Why can't we always do that? Why can't we always have fun? Why can't we celebrate life and smile? And maybe there'll be less people leaving us. You know,
that's beautifully said, my friend. And maybe we can all try it this year. Despite our problems, despite where the world's at or what you personally believe, maybe we can, for Christmas this year, put it all aside and all come together and respect and love each other. Maybe the song can help do that. Maybe this interview can help do that. Who knows, man?
I really think so, man. I mean, I think that's what it's all about. I think that's what, I think there's a reason for everything. I think God puts us on the earth to have a reason. We have a reason to be here. There's a reason to be here right now.
That's
There will be good to come
that's
from
right.
what you're doing, especially, when you're doing it for the right reasons and you're helping people out, there will be good to come. Um,
Well, thank you, and I hope that we all can. I hope that good finds everyone this year. I just really I guess that's when it comes down to it, Gary. That's the real reason why we cut the song, is that we think the world needs a little bit more cheer. Let's try to bring some holiday cheer this year, man.
Hey, man, I know I need it here lately. Been a lot going on, but I know everybody needs that cheer. Now, tell me this. I know it's exciting week. The song just released though,
Yeah,
and and I know it. Despite all the hardships, you can have some Christmas music. You can put up a Christmas tree. You have a snowman back there, and you can play songs and have family and friends just having a good time. That's got to be an exciting time for you. Are you? I know you got some shows coming up. Have you had a chance to sing this song live? And how is that? Is that coming? I guess you got a lot of shows coming up soon, right?
Yeah, we're actually taking off a little bit for the Christmas holidays. I'm spending a little time with my wife before she gets upset that I'm back on the road again. But
Right, Willie. Uh,
it is good to be home and to take some time. And I have been playing the song live a good bit. We've been doing a couple local appearances. We've been playing it, and a lot of folks have been requesting it since they've heard it. So yeah, we've performed it live, and we've been getting a great response, man. Everybody's been so happy and dancing along to it. That's what it's all about, just bringing the song out there and also paying homage to the original. Brenda Lee's version, there ain't no topping that. And I'm over here telling you I covered it, and I didn't try to top it. I knew that hers was the best, hands down. But I just figured I would just try to do it my own way, and it's been really reacting with the people. They've been really, really enjoying it. And that's very rewarding to me. That's a Christmas gift in its own self.
yes, it is. That's good, man. It's a really good version. You did a really good job.
Thank you,
Uh,
man.
Great guitar playing on that. Like I said, I was checking it out and real nice. So the future now, you're talking about the new album and a new single coming out, which that's going to be exciting too. So your experience in Christmas, you got the singer out, you get your wife. She's not going to beat you up because you're not at home. It's all good. So, but tell me about the future, the new year. What's the plans for the new year and what's going on in that area?
We're hitting the road, man, and it's simply put, that's what it is. We got a lot of dates coming up. We're going to be returning to Europe. We got some shows to do in Switzerland this year. We're
Cool.
also going back to Southeast Asia. We're going to be in Thailand to do some things.
Oh
We
wow.
also have shows being booked all around the United States. So you're going to get a chance to see me somewhere, and that's what I want to do. I want to meet the fans in person. I want to see them. I want to let them know how much I appreciate and can never thank them enough for their support. I want to go out there, and that's what I want to do on the road. I want to meet my fans, and I want to get to know you.
Cool. Are you
Yeah.
coming down South Alabama ways anytime soon? Because that's where I'm in Bruton, Alabama. So
I do think that we are working on some Alabama dates next year. So yes, I look forward to getting over there and meeting you too in person.
sure, that'd be awesome. So when's the album coming out? Do you have a release date for that yet?
We don't currently have a release date on the album, but we are working on it. We're looking to drop my first single, "Ready to Ride," in January. So that's how soon this stuff is coming up, and we're looking to also be dropping 12 o'clock in Texas come June, somewhere around June of next year. Don't quote me personally, but we're working on it. We're going to try to, and we're definitely going to be keeping everyone informed on the website and everybody informed in social media about when it's dropping and when we're coming out. But it's coming in fast, I can tell you that.
Awesome. It'll be here before you know it.
Yeah.
Uh, well, before I let you go, I was just thinking about your accomplishments and what you're thinking about and hoping for the future. What's an ultimate goal? I know this past year's been hard, and I know this past year, and for a lot of people too.
Yeah.
What's your goal for this new year? If you could just wrap it all into one big lump.
My goal this year in 2024 is I really, really want to get out there and meet the world. And I mean that metaphorically. I want more and more people to hear about the music, but beyond the music, I want them to hear about the message that I'm spreading. I want to grow this year, and I want to grow bigger than I've ever grown. And I want to share that with the fans coming along with me. The way I look at it, Gary, isn't just that it's all about me or fame or stardom or all that stuff. To me, more it's like I look at everyone like we're a great big family, and I want to take everyone along for the journey with me. People who may not get a chance to go see live shows. I want them to see me on social media, like on interviews like this. I want them to get to know me, and I want to get to know them. And that's my main goal in 2024 is to grow, tour, get the music out there, and help people along the way.
Well, it's all you can do,
That's all you can do, man.
and what a great reward when you see people though appreciating your music and smiling, having a good time. Good, great way to start it off though with this Christmas song,
Yeah,
and
man.
everybody needs to check it out. But they can go to your website,
Yeah.
social media, find you right now. What's the website? Is it willwesley.com? Is that?
Very close. WillWesleyMusic.com.
Music.com. Okay.
And also the new single "Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree." It's on all of your favorite digital platforms. You can find it anywhere from Spotify to Amazon to Apple. And also the new music video's out. It's on YouTube. Just Will Wesley "Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree," and you can see it there. And also, hey, we're going to also be putting out videos and content. We got great people working with us, a great team. So I promise you, you're going to see me somewhere. I'm unavoidable.
That's right. That's not a bad thing. The fans are going to love it. Well, I thank you for chatting with me today. And, I know the Christmas season is almost here. I mean, it's here, but Christmas is almost, you can't escape that, but hopefully we can't escape all the joy and happiness from family and friends and people like you bringing the music and being honest and truthful and sharing the love. You can't argue with that, man. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and hope everything goes okay for you.
Well, man, I want you to have a Merry Christmas with your family as well, and to everyone out there watching, the same to you. Let's be a little bit more cheerful this year. There's a lot to be happy.
This is true. Well, thanks a lot, man. I hope you have a great day.
You too, man. Let's talk again soon.
We will, definitely.
All right, man.
Yeah, man.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody, to another episode of Real Music. I always love these interviews and getting to chat with people like Will Wesley, super nice guy. Great Christmas song. Need to check it out. Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, and be ready for a new year and his music. See what he's got going on. Go over to his website, willwesleymusic.com, for more information. And until next time, everybody, always remember to keep the music real.